So I made a video a little while ago after the first couple of weeks I worked for Evri, saying what my experience of it was so far. A lot of people have asked me, well, but what about the pay? What's the pay like? To which I've had to respond, I'll let you know, because they're a bit cryptic when it comes to pay. So you don't really find out exactly what you're going to get paid until your payslip comes. So for your first 4 weeks, they pay you weekly. Then after that, it's period by period, paid every month. I think you get an invoice around about the 5th to the 10th. I've got mine today, and they get paid on the 15th. So what I'm going to do is the first full month invoice that I got from them to say what I'm going to get paid. I'm going to break it down and just show you exactly what I got paid. Also, just to let you know, I have got a lifestyle courier contract with them. I don't want to work full-time with them at the moment, so I'm just basically a cover courier. However, I have managed to do the same round for this whole month, which has been fabulous. That's one tip if you are thinking about starting with Evri that I would say to you. I've had to be quite tough in a way. I don't know what the right word is, but I've had to basically say, look, I either need to have a round that's the same all the time so I can learn the round and be fast, or you need to give me an area that I already know. So let's jump into the invoice itself. So a lot of people ask me, what do you get per drop, or what do you get per parcel, etc. So with Evri, it depends on what round you're on, whether it's a rural round or a town centre round or a suburban round. I've been doing a bit of a suburban round, so I think my fees are around about average for Evri. Obviously, if you're out in the sticks and you're going like a mile per drop, then your fees are obviously going to be higher. So these are my parcel rates. As you can see, I put a thing up here for a packet, which is what they seem to have paid most of my deliveries at. I'm not sure whether that's correct or not. 57p per drop. Standards, when it gets a little bit bigger, 76p per drop. Heavy or large, £1 a drop. Hanging garments, 76p a drop. Obviously that's pretty self-explanatory. And postable is one thing that I got a bit of a query with them about, because they're saying I've did 53 postables to pay 46p for it, so it's quite a lot less. They're saying I've done 53 postables, and I can tell you, I can only remember over the last 4 weeks of that pay period being able to post about 5 items. So I think they're saying they're postable, but most of them you cannot post them. I'm guessing they're paid less because obviously it's quicker just to post something out through a letterbox. Another thing I've noticed is that some of the parcels maybe aren't in the right category. For example, they have a contract with HelloFresh. The HelloFresh boxes are pretty big, take up quite a lot of space. It means you can take less of other things. Bulky and harder to deliver. The only good thing is you can doorstep drop them. Obviously you've got to try with the customer first. But all of these I've noticed have where it says the weight, which is what they normally take, or what size that they assign for your rates. Every single one of them is paid at a standard rate, and it on the weight on the box it says 0, so you can't check it. So yeah, I'm pretty sure some of them are absolutely massive, so I'm pretty sure that if you actually weighed it, it would fall into the large category, but I don't know. It's just something you have to put up with, I suppose. So in my diary, I've been keeping a record of how many hours I've done, how many parcels I've delivered, and I had an idea roughly what I thought I was going to be getting. So yeah, I'm going to go through how many hours I've done, how much I got paid, and work out an average hourly pay for that. Just so you're aware, this where I've worked out my hours, I've done it from when I arrived at the depot until I completed the last delivery. So I've done it almost as if it was an employee job, because it's from getting there to leaving there. So it doesn't include any travel time to the depot or from where I am to where I need to be next. If you added that on, it would obviously dilute the average pay a little bit. I would say the depot is probably about 10 to 15 minutes, probably closer to 10 minutes out of my way from where I normally like to deliver with Just Eat and Uber and delivery and stuff. And then it's again about a 10-minute drive back. So there is that 20 minutes, maybe sometimes a little bit more, that you have to take into account. So over the course, obviously I was only doing three days a week with Evri, and this is 4 weeks. I didn't work the 5th week of the period because I was unwell, unfortunately. There were a few days where there was a bit of a mix up and I ended up taking not very many parcels, so maybe my pay might have been a bit higher if that hadn't been the case, but they are a little bit disorganized, and that's something I've heard from a lot of people. Anyway, so over the course of the month I did 43.25 hours, so 43 and a quarter hour. As I said, it's all very much part-time. It's a couple hours a day, 3 days a week. So I estimated my pay was going to be £563.84p. What they actually paid me was £559.50p. So they paid me about what I calculated as I went along. So breaking it down, that's an average per hour paid before expenses of £12.93 per hour. Expenses wise for me, insurance and the car is obviously a fixed cost, which I don't really need to worry about. And then mileage wise, to do the whole round, it's only about 10 or 12 miles, so there's not much fuel cost to take into account. To be honest with you, to get that sort of money out of such a small amount of fuel is pretty good going, to be fair. So yeah, that's what you're looking at. On average, my parcel rate was around about 62 pence per parcel. So to answer the questions that I put in the thumbnail, parcel rate or per drop rate was about 62 pence per parcel, and my per hour rate was £12.93 per hour. I hope you found that interesting or informative, or if you're thinking about becoming an Evri courier and you've got any questions, pop a comment down below, please. Like I say, the things that I can say, a couple of tips that I've got for you. Find a good way to organise your car so you know where to look for things. So on the round that I've been doing, there's some streets which are fruits. So I've got Apple Way, Pear, Close, Palm Road, Orchard Road. So put all those together. Then there's some streets that I like birds. So it's like chaffinch, dove, sparrow, kingfisher, all different roads like that. So I put all those together so I know where to find those. And then I've got some that are like miscellaneous roads, which are all together in the same area. Put those in one area, and then I've got two big long roads. Obviously they go in one separate space as well. So, and that's something that has sped up both my pickup and my drop-off rate. Another thing I want to say as well is that obviously £12.93 isn't too bad on the face of it. However, when you open up the app, when you're doing your deliveries, it asks you to set your ETAs. When I'm setting my ETAs, you can say it's standard, fast, very fast, or slow or very slow. So lately, because I've learnt the round, or probably for at least 3.5 weeks of that, I knew the round very well because I'd done it for a bit before as well. I was setting my times to very fast because I was finding that I was managed to get it done really quickly. And sometimes I was going even faster than what the app thought I was going to go on very fast setting. So if you were doing a different round every day, there's no way that you could go very fast. So there's no way I don't think you could get anywhere near £13 per hour. In fact, when I first started, I was doing different rounds each day. I had it set to slow, and I don't really know what I was earning. I haven't really gone through it, but I would say you're starting to edge very close to a national minimum wage, and that's before expenses. But like I say, guys, if you've got any questions, please pop them down below. I'll be happy to answer.